1. It's always support minors until it's about Yoonchi. You're all so quick to hop onto the support minors and K-pop bandwagon until it's about Yoonchi, and the double standards are so blatantly obvious. I'm sorry, but how did Aeon get away with saying a literal racial slur multiple times with basically a slap on the wrist? But all hell breaks loose when Yoonchi quote-unquote makes fun of students. All the girl said was, "I know school can be hard, but netizens just had to jump on her wood and start there." Her tone sounded demeaning bullshit. Also, so many people like to nitpick every single mistake she's ever made. Like no other LESSERFIM members or literally any other idols make mistakes on stage. There was a clip of her and she bounced a bit during her part, which was barely even noticeable, and obviously she felt embarrassed after and was crying. Now tell me why the only reason anyone noticed this was cause some TikTok account posted it saying, "How does she still get solo parts with no talent?" and calling her an attention seeker. And pick me for crying after? This video has 40,000 likes all agreeing with this? Like, what has Yoonchi ever done to y'all? I'm saying this with my whole chest. If it was any other maknae, especially the underage maknaes, everyone would be sympathetic towards them, and all Kpop and Koreabu would be making articles saying how much support they're getting after crying because of a mistake. Also, I know the LESSERFIM hate train as a whole is kinda old now, but as soon as that hate train started, everyone took it as an opportunity to finally fucking break their silence or something and start saying, "I never liked Yoonchi. Yoonchi always pissed me off." Like, this is pure jealousy at its finest. I think this girl deserves a massive apology, because all her andis genuinely just have too much time on their hands, paired with unlimited screen time. 2. K-pop stans and their obsession with double standards is wild. A few days ago, Sunken was caught not paying attention to the fan he was having a fankle with because he was looking at himself in the camera and ended up on hearing the question and just answered cluelessly. All the responses were, "He's so unbothered, help, he's so real," and these responses felt awfully familiar to me, but in the complete opposite way, until a few comments reminded me of the backlash Jinny got for doing the exact same thing. Cause yeah, where were all the "help Jinnis so unbothered" comments not even 3 months ago? I saw some people saying, "Fuck, you're here to do a fan sign, not check yourself in the mirror," and apparently a bunch of fans left her Chinese fan cafe cause of this. Like, this is insane. Watch any female idol get backlash for this same thing tomorrow when Sunken's being called unbothered. Yes, I think fan calls are weird, but you're being paid someone's monthly rent to sit on a 5-minute call in which you only say to things anyway. How difficult is that? Anyways, I think the real issue is the weird netizens and fans who will just be on standby or join in whenever a female idol gets bashed for something but call it chaotic unbotheredness, relatable and funny when a make idol does it. So many people talk about the toxic double standards in K-pop, yet still so many obvious shows of this just fly under the radar. Please go find something else to be mad about. 3. I genuinely don't see any point in debuting groups with 9+ members. I feel like 4, 5 and 7 are such golden numbers for the amount of members in a group. With 7 members, you can perform more dynamic choreography than if you had 4 or 5 members, in terms of you've got more bodies to create shapes and stuff with while highlighting the member singing. With 5 members, every member gets an opportunity to showcase their singing and rapping abilities in a song. Since you're only sharing it with 4 other people, you'll have less people refusing to stand because there's too many members, and memorizing members' names is way easier with only 5 faces. Then with 4 members, I feel like everyone just seems so much more significant on their own instead of shoved into a stage with 8 other people. And it's so much easier for idols' talent to be seen and appreciated instead of being thrown under the rug cause there's 8 other members everyone's looking at. I also always find with 4-member groups you immediately know who's who, like with aespa, Blackpink and even Kiss of Life for the most part. Even though 4 is an uneven number, I feel like most groups do a great job at using this as an asset and not a challenge, and play around with their career without always having to be covering someone. I'm not saying groups with more members can't find success in the industry and gain a loyal fanbase. I just don't think it benefits an idol's identity as a performer when they're barely noticed on stage. Not because they can't sing or dance, but simply because there's 10 other girls on stage who can do that, if not more. It's only natural for the general public to not be thinking, "Ooh, I should give that girl with the red hair in the back a chance to see if I like her skill set," when they can barely see them at the far back of the stage. 4. There has never and will never be a Big 4. The term Big 3 literally means the 3 main companies responsible for starting and helping build up K-pop to the vast industry it is today, meaning they were here from the start. The first scoop of early first-gen groups were groups such as HPOT and SAYS under ESM Entertainment, JYP with acts such as GOD, Park Ji-yoon, Lim Jeong-hee, as well as numerous other successful soloists, and later on Wonder Girls and YG with Jinusean, One Team, Sweetie and 2NE1, all having massive impacts in what we see K-pop as today. All the big 3 companies have been around for nearly 3 decades and obviously utilized their early start in the game to build up their companies to be so respected in the industry. The sole reason why stans should stop trying to cram HYBE into the Big 4, which is non-existent by the way, is because BIOT or HYBE did not popularize K-pop, at least not from the very beginning. Big Hit only started up in 2005, which might not seem like a big difference from 1997 when JYP started, but by the time BIOT signed its first act in 2007, YG and ZIM already had at least, if not multiple groups already clamoring the charts. Hybe as a whole, while being worth more than all three big three companies, still cannot be considered part of the big three or big four since Hybe was only formed in 2021, so a whole 2 decades and a half later than the other three companies. Hybe stands need to snap out of their little bliss trying so hard to make the big four a thing when it never will be, and for good reasons, which they can't be bothered to research.
4. Jonghyun and her stylists can never win. Jonghyun is slightly bigger than her members, and that's perfectly okay. Ever since she put on some weight in around 2021, apparently every single stage outfit she's given doesn't suit her body type or brings out this feature when it should be bringing out another feature instead. Twice are one of the groups were, no matter what, you'll always see them with the best outfits on stage. But it's suddenly a problem when a bigger member gets the same outfits as the other members. Her fans should just be happy she's gotten back her confidence and isn't taking frequent breaks from being on stage cause of the hate now. I couldn't imagine being excited to perform my new comeback and being given a nice outfit just for my Delulu fans to start having meltdowns every time a new fancam of me drops saying her stylists need to give her outfits that suit her body type. Like, what kind of fuckus logic is that? They need to come to terms with the fact that they have no problem with Jonghyun's outfits. They've just got a problem with the outfits being on her body because of their raging internalized fat phobia. 5. YG's inability to be creative is my Roman Empire. Someone tell me why they've debuted the same girl group 3 times. I get it's the wig sound, but so many other companies have their own sound without every single group sounding the same. They knew Baby Monster's debut was so bad they had to scrap it and make a new one, just for it to be even worse. I'm sorry, but how embarrassing is that for a company? Kpop is a growing and expanding industry and trying to push the same badass girl crush concept. From 2007 on, every one of their groups is cheap and boring. They also gave Baby Monster one of Blackpink's original names that they were considering all the way back in like 2015 to 2016. I'm sorry? If YG had no haters, I'm dead. This is literally the last way to make K-pop groups. 6. Safety shorts should never be a part of an outfit. I absolutely hate when K-pop stylists give their idols to miniest skirts and dresses they can find as stage outfits. I'm sorry, but how do stylists look at a skirt the size of the belt and think this is perfect for my group's upcoming music bank stage, especially when there's minors in the group? What makes it even worse is when they give them safety shorts that look like biker shorts when paired with the micro skirts they're given. Like what? I'm not against idols getting safety shorts. I'm actually all for it. But when are these stylists gonna realize safety shorts are not supposed to be seen in an outfit? I hate how they act like giving their group skirts and dresses of a decent length is some kind of fashion crime. Like, please normalize safety shorts being for safety, not for aesthetics. But to be fair, they never look aesthetic when it's black shorts peeking under a hot pink skirt.